Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta. And Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Glad you could join us. We're racing at Nashville, Tennessee, which, while no one was paying close attention, has become a major market. Glad you could join us. Todd Bailing in Greendale, Wisconsin, joined by my three partners, beginning with Ed Kaluka of West Bend, Wisconsin. How you doing there, Ed?
I'm busy right now reading Aaron's notes.
Dan Margetta of St. Francis, Wisconsin. Hey, man.
Hey, good morning. So far, I kind of like what I see out of the Nashville track this week, and I like the truck race and the Xfinity race is pretty good. And I mean, for a track that kind of laid dormant for a while, everybody's talking about fairgrounds, this Speedway put some pretty good shows on, too.
You got that right. And Brian Schmidt of Oostburg, Wisconsin. Hey, man.
Morning. 1 week from today, we'll be at Road America getting ready for our Cup race. Hopefully not the last one.
Yeah, and, there's rumors. Yes. There's well, you know what? It's rumors, but it's all it is one or two journalists who think they have put everything together based on the fact that Road America has not announced that they have a date for sure yet next year. So
saber rattling for people who really don't know.
Correct.
That's exactly what it is, Ed. There
so hopefully 1 week from hopefully when we start this show next week, we all can breathe a big sigh of relief and know that we'll be on the schedule going forward.
Now,
let's all hope for that.
Let's all hope for that for sure. Now, the other side of the coin is if NASCAR is insistent on having a race in downtown Chicago, is it going to be an additional race or will it be replacing something? And if it's going to replace something, what would it replace? And Dan, you had a pretty, what I thought to be a radical idea, rather than replace Elkhart Lake and Road America.
I think Indy is the one as far as road courses. I mean, they were there once last year and it really didn't go over that well. A lot of people want to see them go back to the Oval. Now, it'd be cool to go back to the Oval there and then make their road course race be the Chicago Street Race, but now you got to take an Oval race away from somewhere. You know, that gets a little more complicated. Or maybe we just don't go to Indy at all for 1 year. I don't know. If I was going to take a road course off the schedule, I would take the Indianapolis one right now because that didn't go over well last year.
But we would all agree the Brickyard, the Brickyard 400 needs to be on NASCAR's Cup Series schedule.
As an oval.
As an oval.
Yeah, it wasn't last year, so maybe do we take a year off and try a Chicago deal, or if we put it back on the Oval next year, then we got to find another one somewhere. Is it like Martinsville? Is it someplace that's got two? I don't know.
Richmond seems to be the one that just doesn't fill up, and they took a ton of seats out of that place. So I guess if I were to hedge at one track that might be losing a date, Richmond would be the one I would guess.
Remember, now we've taken one away from Pocono already, so it can't be Pocono. They've already lost one.
Andover and Michigan, they've all lost one. So
imagine, Michigan, right by Detroit, the Motor City. Today's race is in Lebanon, Tennessee, about a half an hour east of Nashville. Denny Hamlin will start on the pole after a rain-abbreviated qualifying session. His time was 160.413 miles per hour, 29.848.
Which was the race speed.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. The race will be televised today on Channel 4 in Milwaukee. The coverage starts right here on the Big 920 at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Green flag is scheduled to fly at 4:23 Milwaukee time. Kind of a late start. A 1.25 mile racetrack. And guys, I have to tell you, the racing has been pretty damn good at that 1.25 mile track so far, don't you think?
Well, they're trying to get away from the heat.
It has been ridiculously hot down there, which, you know.
That's by the late start. But I thought in both races, the truck race on Friday night was really interesting to watch. It wasn't, you know, like a cookie cutter type deal. I mean, there are a lot of moves and a lot of dicing it up, I guess you could say, in that race, and it was fun to watch, I thought. Same with the Xfinity race yesterday.
Ryan Preece won in the trucks. Ty Majeski was there until the very end, finished fourth. Derek Kraus came and went out of the top 10, ended up ultimately finishing 11th. Ty made a pretty exciting move to make it 4 wide, and you know, Matt DiBenedetto, he's a likable guy, but, you know, there must be a reason that he's working his way down the ladder. And it's always everybody else's fault. And, of course, you know, this is no exception to this one.
Dan, tell us how proud you are, Ty.
I've been saying off the air to these guys a lot all season that I wish he would get more aggressive during the race and not right at the very end. But sometimes I thought he gives spots away just to be too conservative, and he ends up getting himself in positions where it hurts him. And I was so happy he finally got aggressive during the race and made a move. The inside was open. It was 4 wide. But by the time they got to the corner, when they entered the corner, he was the first truck in that corner. And there was a 25 of Benedetto and the 51 of Heim and I think the 23 of Enfinger. Now, anybody in those guys could have backed off at that point. And I thought Ty being the first truck in there, did he make it kind of a charge late and get in there? But he got there first when he got to the corner. I thought it was up on the 25 or the 51 to back off, and I thought that's where the problem was. Those guys, I think they might have been surprised he did that, and that's where they were. But, I mean, I've watched Ross Chastain do stuff like that. I've watched John Hunter Nemechek do stuff like that. I've watched Carson Hocevar do stuff like that.
Called racing, folks.
That's the way they race in the truck series now, and you got to do that, and you almost have to be that aggressive all the time, or you get stuck in stuff. And in that case, Enfinger was the one that got stuck in that whole deal. I mean, he was on the outside. He saw it coming, and he got swept up in it.
And it was fun to watch. And, I like watching Ty Majeski be aggressive. Dan, I agree. He's so smooth that you forget that he can be unbelievably aggressive when he needs to be. And it's good to see. I mean, we've seen it before. It's kind of nice that the rest of the country's starting to see it now. So yesterday, the Xfinity Series raced at Nashville Super Speedway. Justin Allgaier kind of stunk it up a little bit. There was an interesting exchange between the new rivals. Sam and Ty Gibbs ended up 4th and 5th in that one, but they got together. I'm going to need a definition from one of you there. Packing air. Does that mean the air was taken off of a spoiler and it caused a spin or a car to get loose, so it was hard to hang on to? Is that what that means?
I think as you run up on somebody so fast as you push the air in front of you and it hits the back, it's like you hit him, but you didn't hit him. That's what you kind of pack the air in the back of the car, right?
Yeah, it's like pushing, like a snowplow pushing a big pile of snow. And when you're pushing that snow, the snow moves the car, not the plow on the truck kind of deal, you know, and that's kind of what it was. He pushed so much air up there, he just sent them around.
You sound like one of those snowplow guys that second I'm done shoveling the end of my driveway, you come by and piss me off.
That all sounds good, except I saw the touch.
Oh.
He did not touch him.
You thought you saw him touch him.
There's space there. There was space there.
Go to the video.
Either way, if Gibbs had anything bad to say about Sam because he got touched, he held back. He didn't say it. He said the same thing. We're racing very fast with a very little air cushion in there, and it actually kind of worked against him. Gibbs did it to somebody else too.
It almost looked like
I'll go back to my Butch Miller days.
Yeah.
Butch would take somebody out, and he'd say, "Damn it, I got to do it again." He didn't even know I did it.
It almost looked like Ty Gibbs was the type of kid that was brought into a room earlier this year and said, all right, this is what you're going to say and this is how you're going to act going forward, because that was a completely different person from the one we saw a couple months before.
Yeah, no kidding. And you can see that happening. You can tell that had to happen, because after all, that's Joe Gibbs' grandson we're talking about. If you're going to carry this company into the future, boy, you're going to have to learn how this is done, Mr. 18-year-old. We're going to sneak away and take a break. We're very happy you tuned in this morning, and we'll be right back.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
It's the Road America Challenge presented by Cunis RV, featuring the IRA and the Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA 360s this Thursday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. A number of IRA past champions, including Bill Baylog, will be on hand. Local and area 360 drivers will also be racing. Gates for this special event open at 4:30, qualifying 6:30, racing at 7. And remember, no racing at the Fair Park this Saturday, July 2nd. Fan Appreciation Night rescheduled to July 9th. $5 off all tickets. We'll see you there.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
All the eyes on the flag stand. Green flag goes in the air.
Rolls into Music City.
Ryan Blaney's up and into the wall. He slips high out of the groove, slaps the safer barrier in turn number 1.
To Nashville Super Speedway.
Checkered flag in the air, and Kyle Larson wins the Ally 400 at Nashville Super Speedway.
It's the Ally 400.
Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Thanks for tuning in. We have a Facebook page that if you make us your friend, and I have to understand how this all works exactly, we send you a notice at about 10 minutes to 10, and if you happen to be sitting at your computer, you can turn the program on early and hear as we're preparing, and then we see all the things that people post, which I really like, because our old friend Jerry Bomer said on the Facebook page that he got a camping renewal for next year from Elkhart Lake already. Now, they haven't announced a cup date, but he did get a camping renewal form. So, I mean, you got to say that's a positive right there. So, let's just keep our fingers crossed and let him take a date from somewhere else. Why would you take the highest attended race off of the schedule? Think about that for just a second. And while we're thinking, let's go to the telephones and talk to our old friend Greg from faraway Milwaukee. Greg, welcome to the program. Let's talk NASCAR.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Howdy.
I hope when they race in Chicago that their tires aren't stolen and end up on Maxwell Street. Anyhow, I want to shout out to Tony Stewart. That was one heck of a Saturday night race yesterday, and probably the best of the whole series.
Tony Stewart won the SRX race at South Boston last night, is what Greg's talking about.
Hey, one other thing.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You too could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
I find it interesting that they have the race on in prime time in the Midwest and out east. Are they not concerned about the West Coast audience like they are with so many other races?
Well, you have to remember that the West Coast audience is kind of used to the time difference too. They realize that they're going to be watching things a little bit earlier out there. Their baseball teams, as soon as they travel out to the East Coast, they all have strangely early start time. So it's a 5 o'clock in Los Angeles kind of a thing, and they get used to it. Let's keep it live. It's much better.
And I think that the SRX race being exciting. He had some guys mad at each other. Was it Elio and Paul Tracy? And then Stewart had Ernie Francis. I mean, he really took him to school after the
grabbed him by the uniform. And you know what it's about is these guys just think this is just nothing but drama, and they can all wreck each other. And the problem is they don't have enough cars to just keep rolling out more cars. So the crew has to fix the cars they have. These guys don't fix the cars, they just wreck them, and everybody else comes in and has to get them ready for next week's race. So Stewart is smart enough to be able to walk over and say, listen, don't drive like an ass. We need to run these cars for 4 more weeks after tonight. Oh, well, that's all it is. And, Greg, we appreciate the call. Let's talk to John in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Hi, John.
Good morning, guys. Great show as always. I have a question about how did they come up with the starting lineup for the Cup Series today after it was rained out? All of a sudden, Denny Hamlin's on taking the pole. How did that happen?
They had a round of qualifying. It just wasn't the final round. They did have their top 10 that were going to run the third and final round, but after 2 rounds, it got rained out, and they just stood on the second round time. Round 1 time, excuse me.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And interesting about that qualifying is, I find something that's fun to watch today. How about Kyle Busch coming from the very back? I mean, he spun out in that qualifying deal. They repaired the primary car, so it's not a backup. And he kind of did something similar in Vegas earlier this year. I think they actually went to the backup, but he went from last and almost won the darn race. So I think it'd be fun to watch today.
Hey, speaking of SRX, when Elio Castroneves won the first round last week, he got promised a ride from Don Hawk next year. I don't know if he was specific and said the Daytona 500, but he did say he was going to give him a ride or find him a ride. Dan thought it might be that 91 car that Trackhouse is going to have for certain people at certain races. I'm not sure if there are other possibilities, though, right, guys?
Well, he's been hinting around that he wants to race for Penske, and Penske he said over the years he's been hinting to Roger, I'd like to try the Cup Series, and I drove his Indy cars, and I drove his IMSA cars, and wouldn't it be cool to drive one of his Cup cars? And if you think about it, Penske only has 3 teams, so it would work out to have a 4th team there, and they did it in the past for Austin Cindric before he was a full-time driver at Daytona, so I think that's where Helio is kind of throwing hints out there. Now, whether they do it or not, who knows, but that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you would think so. And nothing is set yet, so all it is rumors, but they are looking for a ride for Elio Castroneves.
I hope it happens. I mean, Castroneves is a great guy all around, driver, just a person. If you ever met the guy, he's genuine. He's fun to be around. You have no problem finding a sponsor, especially for the Daytona 500.
Dan, is Daytona the best first race for him?
Why not? I mean, what you probably win. I mean, look, Michael McDowell won that race a couple of years ago. I mean, it's the race that, I mean, everybody.
It's not like driving an Indy car at that speed, though, Dan. You know that. He doesn't have any experience with air at that speed.
Well, I mean, you think about it. He's run several of the 24 Hours of Daytona races there, and those prototype cars on the oval are going pretty darn fast. So he's got a pretty good idea of it. And I mean, if you're going to do something like that, my guess would be you'd throw him maybe in an ARCA car too the day before, so that he could have a chance to really see what it's like. And Penske has the wherewithal to do that if they want to. So if you really want to make this a go and have a shot at actually having a decent run, that would be the course to go. But the Trackhouse one seems more logical because they're going to have that car for different drivers.
If you'd like to call us, it's 414-421-7901. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Gas prices are up, morale is down. But that's why we're here with Inflation Salvation. Don't miss your shot to win $1,000. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every hour. When you hear the keyword, go to our webpage to enter it.
At thebig920.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
This week on NASCAR Live, the MRN crew is here to discuss all the storylines as the Cup Series begins its push to the playoffs.
In a very close second would be the ascension of Trackhouse Racing to the ranks of consistent front runners, race winners, and it's beginning to look like serious championship contenders with both of the cars in that two-car team.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN on Nashville Weekend. Glad you could join us. A great innovator, promoter, track owner, Bruton Smith passed away this week at the age of 95, and quite a guy. I would say innovator is probably the best thing that you could say about him, combined with the fact that he was a very aggressive track owner. He was always under NASCAR's skin. He was always threatening without threatening that he would get his fair shake of NASCAR races. And NASCAR, I don't know if it was begrudgingly had to deal with him, but he was nothing but good for NASCAR, and NASCAR was nothing but good for Bruton Smith. And he passed away this week, and will always be remembered. NASCAR Hall of Famer.
Think about what he all did, really. I mean, he really was a big part of making the sport as popular as it was. And And he did. He'd get his way. I mean, if he did something he didn't like, he'd tell you about it, and he'd threaten. Maybe he's going to take Charlotte and knock it down and put it somewhere else until he got what he wanted there. And I remember just being in press conferences. I thought he did real well in press conferences handling reporters because they'd ask, always the gotcha questions or something like that. And he just handled them. As that one in Charlotte, I can't remember what they asked him, but it was something that was kind of a question that was kind of a gotcha type deal. And he just looked at it and was like, well, bless your heart, which is Southern for screw you.
Yeah.
It was just cool the way he would kind of handle himself in that deal. I mean, he wasn't afraid of anything really.
To me, he'll be. I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
I said he was on the cutting edge of everything. I mean, he was the guy who dreamed up the idea of lighting a super speedway. I mean, I remember before that first Winston, the idea of having Charlotte Motor Speedway, a 1.5 mile track, lit up and race at night was unheard of. And now think about it, 30 years forward here, and basically every track has lights, with the exception of a few. But he's the one that brought that idea to fruition and talked to Musco and got them to come up with a plan to actually do it, and so many people told him, you're not going to be able to do that. You can't do that. I mean, if you ever watched that special that Fox had during the pandemic, recapping that one hot night deal, everybody told him it's not possible. It's not possible. And he just kept pushing and pushing, saying, yes, we're going to do this. Yes, we're going to do it. And he did it. And it's changed the whole way NASCAR is done these days with having night races.
To me, the greatest thing that he ever ended up doing is he wanted to carve out another date for his track in Texas. And he came up with, and I don't know to this day if there really was a Francis Furco. If you'll remember, this fella who no one had ever heard of, and all he was supposedly was a disgruntled shareholder who was going to sue NASCAR unless they got a race later in the season, a second date at Texas. That's why we always called it the Francis Furco 500. But was there really a Francis Furco, or was it someone named, Bruton Smith, who just said, hey, what about this guy? And ended up getting his date. He'll be missed, no doubt. And NASCAR, you could see that they probably didn't want him to be in the Hall of Fame, but there's no way they could keep him out of the Hall of Fame. If anybody deserves to be in it, it was Bruton Smith. So that was pretty cool. The number again, 414-421-7901. And Bob in West Bend is on line one. Hi, Bob.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great.
First of all, you guys do a great job. Listen to you every week. Never called before. I was listening to Dale Jr. Download, which I listen to all the time, every time he drops something, and I'm sure you guys do too. But before the Phil Parsons episode that dropped this week, he was brought up about the Chicago race and what would happen, and he actually hinted too that Road America would be dropped. But his angle was different. It was, yes, we obviously attended it. More people went there than any other race, but he was saying something about the caution laps because it's such a long track that the TV networks the network wasn't very happy with, I think, 30-plus minutes of riding around, I guess. I know the drivers weren't happy about caution, Yeah. I mean, obviously, I love Road America. I've been there, take my boys there, but that was his angle on it. So it's just, with these TV networks seem to drive everything with their, all the money that they throw out. So,
sure. I wonder how that could be fixed. We couldn't really just throw a red whenever there's a caution, could we? And just have the cars stop?
You could do a hell of a lot better job of being more manageable with your cautions. If a guy spins out in turn 5 and the field is going through the carousel, don't throw the caution until the field is coming through turn 2. Give that guy all kinds of time to get himself situated and get back on the track. And make that perfectly clear in the driver's meeting that we're not going to throw a caution every time you spin out, or every time, or, stuff like that. There's a lot of things you could do, and if you go to road racing there, that's how they operate. Like the June sprints, they don't throw a caution every time somebody wrecks there.
Well, now they're going to have a committee for that, right, Dan?
Oh, isn't that a beautiful thing? Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a bit. But
I mean, it's a procedural deal that if the networks really are, bent on this and don't like how that's done, well, then NASCAR needs to do a better job of working through it and letting these drivers know you're not going to play possum there. You're not going to just park it. And if you spin out and if you wreck, that's fine. And then, also having to have the pits open for 2 consecutive laps for the lap cars and the lead lap cars. You don't need to do that either. Let it make it so everybody can pit at once. They already do the two different pace car things. They got one pace car stationed in 5 and another one stationed outside of the carousel. So if the caution comes out, depending upon where they are on the track, they can pick them up to save some time.
They need to clean it up is what it amounts to.
Yeah, and it's on the drivers and it's on the series to make it happen. Not, it's not Road America's deal.
Something procedure like that is kind of dumb if you're going to move a race because of that. I don't like crashing 20 cars that never race, but we still go to Talladega all the time, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Bob, I hope
that
answers
be any better
your
at a speed
question
circuit.
anyway.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Yeah, there's ways to do it. Maybe check with the track itself to see how they do it, and because they've been having races here for since 1950 or thereabouts.
Right.
They're pretty good at managing their own track, and just because NASCAR comes in, you got to do it NASCAR's way, which is understandable. But, if that's what is identified as being a problem, why don't you just ask the track how they usually handle something like that? There's
Make
different
every
things
yellow a quickie yellow.
Yeah, there's different things you can try. That's all it is. We're glad you tuned in. We'd love to talk to you at 414-421-7901, and we'll be back after these.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250 presented by Jockey Made in America and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry Wong.
iHeartRadio Wango Tango 2022 was incredible, with performances from the hottest superstars of the summer, including Shawn Mendes, the Chainsmokers, Camila Cabello, Diplo, and many more. This year's festival was the way to kick off the summer. It also marked the launch of iHeart's VIPX with Vadim. VIPX is a new digital platform that lets iHeart concert goers unlock exclusive prizes, content, and experiences using Vadim's wallet of wallets. An easy-to-use new way to experience the magic of the metaverse through AR adventures, NFTs, virtual merchandise, and more. All you need to get started is your email or mobile number. Then you'll be able to secure your personal information and identity and manage your NFTs and cryptocurrency in a single wallet. To set up your own wallet of wallets or get more info on how to experience Vadim Web3 experiences at iHeart events like Wango Tango, go to vadim.com today.
Have you heard San Antonio Fruit Farm wines are dual fruit wines? That means each bottle of San Antonio Fruit Farm wine is infused with 2 real fruits. With flavors like strawberry guava, peach passion fruit, and blackberry orange, San Antonio Fruit Farm wines are sure to give your taste buds something to talk about. Ask your local retailer for San Antonio Fruit Farm wines. Fruit fusion you can taste, so please taste responsibly.
80 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the Family Fun Zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Are you ready for an inflation vacation? Win $1,000 9 times a day, weekdays, right here. Just listen for the keywords to enter on our website for your chance to win a grand.
At thebig920.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Green flag is in the air and we are underway.
Returns to Road America.
Trouble in turn number 12. All kinds of traffic getting stacked up, and taking the worst of it is going to be Sam Mayer.
For racing action near the shores of Lake Michigan.
Checkered flag is in the air. As he crests the hill, he sees it. Kyle Busch.
It's the Henry 180.
Saturday afternoon coverage starts at 1 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
One of our Facebook listeners has given us a tweet tweet. I don't know my tweets from my Twitters. But this is a person by the name of Colton Cranmore, who said on Twitter that he really recently heard from a season ticket holder at Kansas Speedway that there's only going to be one Kansas race next year. It's going to be Saturday night, July 8th. And that what the difference is, it said NASCAR returning to Chicagoland. Maybe they think Chicagoland Speedway. What we're thinking instead of Chicagoland Speedway is one of the dates from Kansas is going to go to Chicago, downtown Chicago road race. Now that would make some sense. How is that attendance at that Kansas City race? It's not bad, is it?
I don't know. You could put a lot of stock in anybody. Twitter is not a place for credibility for finding stuff.
No, but
but if a season ticket holder was told there's only going to be one race there, that makes a lot more sense.
And if that's true.
Yeah, and returning to Chicagoland, obviously not the Speedway, because if you were to see what that place looks like now, to be able to race there would be very tough. And you're not going to race at the Chicagoland Speedway and on the street circuit. That's not going to happen in the same year. So,
and even though I agree with you that you can't take what you find on Twitter, as being solid, on the other hand, where you can take some reporter who makes a story out of the fact that Elkhart Lake has not been given a for sure date yet for next year. This is just as good to me as that reporter's musing. Let's just go with Kansas is going to lose a date.
If it was in a perfect world, there's your solution right there. You keep Road America. You have your Chicago street race. Okay, you only won once to Kansas, and then you put Indy back on the oval. Boom, fixed.
There you go. Let's connect the dots. I like how that's connected because that makes the most sense of all of it.
It's not just that we're homers. Let's be honest. They had over 100,000 people at Road America last year. How many races that NASCAR puts on do they get 100,000?
The Daytona 500, I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's lucky if you get that many. They always did at one time, but do they really get that many?
If it sells out, the place holds 102,000. So
102, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. All right, let's see here. Jim is waiting to talk to us from Oak Creek. How you doing, Jim?
Oh, good, Todd. It's good to hear you guys on the air again today. I was just calling to the comment about the race last week. My son took me out to the Milwaukee Mile for the races on Father's Day, and not only was the weather great, but the racing was even better. They had 4 divisions of vehicles out there, and the finish for each division was razor close. I mean, the ARCA cars, it was won by 3/1000ths of a second. The truck race was won by 1 car length, and the mid-am cars was like a half a car length. It was really great racing out there, and the people that ran the event, my hat's off to them because they kept the show going. There was no delays. It was just a fantastic day, and spending it out there with my son made it all the better.
That's fantastic. We, as much as we love the Milwaukee Mile, it's great that the crowd seemed like it was pretty good, and the racing was good. It was
hard to tell. We sat about 4 seats from the top. I mean, there was people all around us, but they had certain sections of the grandstand covered with tarps, so you could only sit like in the middle section from on either side of start finish, and from the bottom all the way to the top. It seemed like a good crowd, but it's hard to tell when you're sitting in the middle of it,
Yeah, sure. No, that's good. A lot of positives came from the race last week in Milwaukee, and we're happy to. And, by the way, congratulations to Casey Johnson for winning, and James Swan 2 years in a row in the Midwest Truck Series. So congratulations to those guys. And glad to hear the positives. We do appreciate it, Jim.
Oh, yeah, it was a good time. Anybody who chose not to go missed out on a good show.
You bet. Thanks a lot. We appreciate the call, Jim. And the number to call in case you'd like to participate is 414-421-7901. A couple of things happened this week. First of all, Ricky Stenhouse signed a multi-year contract extension to stay in the 47 car. And that is not a big surprise, I don't suppose. But we're noticing a little bit about Martin Truex Jr., who said unenthusiastically, I'm back to drive the 19 car for, it looks like, 1 year, which would take the 19 car off of the board if you're actually looking for a place for Ty Gibbs where he might go. On the other hand, they just talked to Joe Gibbs a week ago, and they talked about how this kid is a can't-miss NASCAR prospect, and it's true, and what are you going to do with him? And his answer was, we agreed from the beginning that he should have another year in the Xfinity Series. So if, let's say, for instance, Martin Truex got a 1-year extension, and it kind of looks like he does, is that where he's headed when the time comes to replace Martin Truex? My own thought, maybe Denny Hamlin will decide to go over to his own team, start a third, well, if not a charter, he would probably make the races even without a charter, even though you can't make money without a charter, can you, Ed?
No.
So Hamlin wouldn't be too thrilled with that. So I think the 11 would be another possibility for the kid. But we had a caller that asked for an estimate of the Milwaukee attendance last week. Did anybody see anything?
No, I didn't. It's really hard to tell, unless Track Enterprises comes out with the actual number. We really don't know. What it was. It looked pretty good to me. So
in the middle of it, and I was standing on a ledge above like some of the seats, and because I had to get out to go to Slinger early, I didn't want to get
Oh yeah, traffic.
But it was. And there are a lot of people up there standing with me, and a lot of those people up there had seats that were lower down in the sun, and they just came up to get out of the sun because it was in the shade that way too. So there was a pretty good sized crowd. I thought it was okay for being there.
I think if you were to stick them all at a short track, it'd look really, really good because you got to remember the size of the place. So
can we say 10,000?
I don't know if it's maybe that big. I would say I don't know. I really hard to say. What's left there now is 30 or 35,000. So. I think it would maybe be a hair under 10,000. Right.
Not terrible.
No,
especially for a short track race, or
right.
I'd say short track. It's with the premier short track series in the country, so good for them, and a lot of positives, like we said. Hey, NASCAR came up, and Ed made reference to this a couple minutes ago. NASCAR came up with a plan. Not a new rule now. This is a plan. What are they going to do with caution calls at the end of the race like they had at Texas? Normal caution calls are made by the race director. But when it's at a key juncture in a race, such as it was at Texas for the All-Star race, it will be talked about by the race director, the senior vice president of competition, and the series director. And then they will come up with an idea whether or not they should throw a caution. Are you kidding me?
Just have a race.
6 laps will be completed by then.
While we're discussing it, somebody else will pile in.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, it's late in the race. Come on.
That guy's on the fence up there. What are we going to do? What do you think we should do? I don't know what we should do. By that time, 4 more cars are going to pile in, and we got it.
Beautiful. We're going to sneak away, and we'll be back. Hang in there with us.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Green flag goes in the air, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing again in Nashville.
Season heats up.
Oh, look out, trouble, turn 3. One car hard into the outside wall.
With a trip to Nashville Superspeedway.
The historic win, number 100, happens today in Music City. Kyle Busch.
It's the Tennessee Lottery 250.
Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Yes, we had another full week of racing going on across the country. We'll start Tuesday in Springfield, Missouri. The UMP Summer Nationals continued their trek through the country. 5,000 win. That was Brian Shirley with the win there. Wednesday night in Quincy, Illinois, another round of the Summer Nationals. 5,000 win. That went to Bobby Pierce. Also Wednesday in Brandon, South Dakota, the Houston Speedway of the World of Outlaw NOS Engine Drink Sprint Car Series was there. 10,000 to win. That went to Spencer Baston. Thursday night, Banner, Illinois, the Spoon River Speedway, another round of Summer Nationals. Tanner English picked up the win there. Out in Sarver, Pennsylvania, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series was there. Night number 1 of the Firecracker 100. 6,000 to win for the preliminary feature. Mike Marlar was your winner there. Brandon, South Dakota, night number 2 for the World of Outlaw NOS Engine Drink Sprint Cars Series for the Huset's High Bank Nationals. 15,000 to win. That went to Michael Buddy Kofoid. That was his first ever World of Outlaw sprint car win. He had a lot of success in the midgets over the years. Friday night, over at Chilton, Gravity Park Speedway, the Wabam Dirt Kings Late Model Series was there. Nick Anviling picked up the win. In the Grand Nationals, Derek Schrouth was your winner. Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway, and the IMCA Modifieds, Brian Mullen was your winner. And the stock cars went to Kenny Richards. Over at Madison International Speedway, yes, that's the pavement, but the USAC Silver Crown Series was there. That's a dirt series primarily. For the Dairyland 100, C.J. Leary picked up his first ever pavement victory in the Silver Crown Series. Fountain City, Wisconsin, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway Friday night. In the USRA Modifieds, Brandon Davis was your winner. And in the Limited Late Models, it was Lance Hofer. Menominee, Wisconsin, the Red Cedar Speedway. In the Wissota Late Models, Jimmy Mars was your winner. And in the Wissota Modifieds, Ashley Anderson. Jim Falls, Wisconsin, the Eagle Valley Speedway. In the Wissota Modifieds, Paul Niznik was your winner. And the Limited Late Models went to Dylan Kromschrader. Up at Superior, the Gondik Law Speedway and the Wissota Modifieds, Jolie Belfoulier was your winner. Sarver, Pennsylvania, night number 2 for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Firecracker 100. Another 6,000 to win. Mike Marlar picked up another win. He won both preliminary features, winning the $6,000 there. Peevely, Missouri, the I-55 Raceway for the UMP Summer Nationals and the World of Outlaw Case Late Model Series co-sanctioned the event. 10,000 to win. Dennis Erb Jr. was your winner. The Extreme Sprint Car Series, non-wing Sprint Car Series was also there. Alex Bright was your winner there. Night number 3 in Brandon, South Dakota for the World of Outlaw NOS Engineering Sprint Car Series. $20,000 to win. Carson Macedo was your winner there Friday night. Last night, we did have some rain. The USAC Sprint Car race at Wilmot was rained out. 141, Beaver Dam, and Rice Lake all rained out around here. They did race up at Shawano for the Wabam Dirt Kings Late Model Series. Nick Anvilik completed the weekend sweep, winning both events. He won last night there. The IMCA Modifieds went to Mike Mullen. The stock cars went to Trent Nolan. Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, the Hill Raceway. The IMCA stock cars were the headliner up there. Robert Wachter Jr. was your winner. New Richmond, Wisconsin, Cedar Lake Speedway, and the Modifieds, Adam Hensel was your winner, and the Limited Late Models went to Dylan Kromschrader. That Dylan Kromschrader guy, we've said his name a lot here in the last couple of weeks. He's winning a lot. Peevely, Missouri, night number 2 for the co-sanctioned Summer Nationals World of Outlaw Late Model event. Dennis Erb Jr. completed a weekend sweep winning both of those. He picked up the $10,000. And the Extreme Sprint Car Series went to Jake Swanson. Sarver, Pennsylvania, Lernerville for the Firecracker 100. $50,000 to win for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That went to Tim McCready. And finally, the big paying race of the weekend in Brandon, South Dakota, the Huset's Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Engineering Sprint Cars. The Huset's High Bank Nationals, $100,000 to win that race. And if you see the highlights of this, Sheldon Houdenchild took the white flag in third place. came around and won the $100,000 feature event on the high side. It's a pretty amazing pass. If you look on the internet, you'll be able to see highlights of it. Pretty impressive win. And they also announced next year's race in at Brandon, South Dakota, Houston Speedway. The High Bank Nationals will pay $250,000 to win for the 410 wing sprint cars. That will be the highest paying sprint car race ever next year out there. So it's only an 8-hour drive from here if you want to check it out.
$250,000. Amazing. With thanks to our friend
$250,000 to win next year.
$250,000. Thanks to our friend Paul Reichert, who sends us results from around Wisconsin's paved track starting Thursday at State Park Speedway. The super late models ran up there, and Jerry Brickner was your winner. Also on Thursday night at WIR in Kaukauna, super late models ran. Brazen Bennett, he's won 2 weeks in a row at 2 different tracks. Evan Beatty won in the late models last week at WIR. Friday night at Golden Sands, it was Ronnie Osborne in the late models. At Madison, they ran the twin features in the NASCAR late models. Bobby Wilberg won the first one. Brian, is that you that sent me the video? That was outstanding. Right to the line. Very, very close racing. And Zach Riddle won the second one, who I think was a very close second in that first one. Pretty great racing at Madison. Saturday night, Dells was rained out last night. It was the Trickle 99. It's been rescheduled. Dan, did you say mid-August?
It looks like August 13th. They're going to run 2 75-lap features.
All right. And that would be a good night to make it there. At La Crosse, they had, at Rockford, then the NASCAR late models, John Reynolds Jr., a familiar name at Rockford, was your winner. ARCA ran at Elko Speedway. It was televised last night on MAV TV. Sammy Smith won it. He should be headed to the Slinger Nationals as far as I'm concerned. I believe he is. He did last year. And Ron Vandermeer Jr. finished 10th in that ARCA race up at a regular ARCA. What is that? Brian, which of the many ARCA series was that? Wasn't the West, right? That was the ARCA.
That was the regular ARCA Menard series, the National
ARCA
Tour.
Menard series. All right, because a lot of drivers I don't really know. I do know that our little friend from California, Jesse Love, was in it and finished second and looked pretty good. Last week at the Slinger Speedway, Steve Apel made it 2 straight. Ty Majeski came through traffic to finish second, but a pretty damn good show on last week at Slinger Speedway. Apel's got it figured out, that's for sure. Tonight, it's the first of 2 Midwest Truck Series events at Slinger Speedway. And that includes the likes of James Swan, who won last week at Milwaukee. Brad Miller has the number 89 truck, too, that'll be racing tonight. And, of course, the Uptown Pro Late models will be on the bill tonight, too. So good stuff at Slinger Speedway. Make sure you're there. Once again, thanks and congratulations to Casey Johnson for winning last week at Milwaukee, and we'll be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
It's the Road America Challenge presented by Cunis RV, featuring the IRA and the Plymouth Dirt Track Racing MSA 360s this Thursday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. A number of IRA past champions, including Bill Baylog, will be on hand. Local and Area 360 drivers will also be racing. Gates for this special event open at 4:30, qualifying 6:30, racing at 7. And remember, no racing at the Fair Park this Saturday, July 2nd. Fan Appreciation Night rescheduled to July 9th. $5 off all tickets. We'll see you there.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
All the eyes on the flag stand. Green flag goes in the air.
Rolls into Music City.
Ryan Blaney's up and into the wall. He slips high out of the groove, slaps the safer barrier in turn number 1.
To Nashville Super Speedway.
Checkered flag in the air, and Kyle Larson wins the Ally 400 at Nashville Super Speedway.
It's the Ally 400.
Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Thanks to our researcher, Aaron Baird, I have to straighten something out that I said that was a mistake. The Uptown Pro late models are not racing at Slinger tonight. This is the round 1 of the Bellegarde Duels featuring the Midwest Truck Series. 26 expected entries so far, including Brad Miller, Chris Blauett, James Swan, Kenny Justin, Austin Lidke, many others. They're going to have 20 trucks will start the 60-lap main event, 14 by time, and 6 will transfer through the semi-feature. The modifieds are going to be racing as the second division tonight at Slinger Speedway, which will be also joined by the Legends, Bandoleros, Slinger Bees, and the Figure Eight. So it's a full program tonight at Slinger Speedway. A couple things I wanted to talk about, gentlemen. Fox, who's no longer, running NASCAR races. It's been transferred over to NBC for the remainder of the year. But they came out and they said they want NASCAR to move the All-Star race every year. Wow, what a concept. I wonder where they came up with that. People, this is what it was supposed to be from the beginning. Remember those days? Wouldn't that be fun?
Brute Smith put his foot down and said it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, he did give it great. He did a very good job with having it there, Ed. If you'll remember those first few years, that place was a sellout for that NASCAR All-Star race. It is not a sellout anymore. No. It was certainly not anywhere near a sellout at Texas. The only thing is, and I think we would all agree with this, they should take a page right out of SRX and perhaps pick out some really well-run short track and take the All-Star race to a new level and run it at a short track that doesn't see a cup race. Wouldn't that be cool? That place they ran at last night, South Boston, Virginia, I think that's a NASCAR facility, isn't it? A NASCAR sanctioned track?
Yep, that's exactly what Kevin Harvick talked about way back when we were at the Coliseum in February. He said you should take the Clash to a warm weather place. Remember last week at Pensacola how hot it was for SRX? You run there in February, and then you take the All-Star race to a northern climate where it's warm and run that at a short track, and you get one crack at it, and that's it. So, if Slinger Speedway were to host it, 2 years in advance you're going to get that race. You got 2 years to promote the heck out of it, get everything ready, and that's your one shot at it, and you move to the next one. There's enough short tracks in this country that you could do that for 30 years and not hit them all.
And they would put on some outstanding racing. And as Ed said long ago, when I said, but the attendance, what if you don't have, very many people in the stands? First of all, we need to remember that it is a made-for-television program now that we just have a live audience at. Now, personally, I like going because I watch things that they don't necessarily show on television. Battles a little further back and that sort of thing. But, I think it would be really cool to have a race at some of these places. Stafford put a damn good show on last year. Pensacola, they don't have, huge seating at those places, but it's for television anyway, right?
Oh, heck yeah. And people would pay a pretty penny to come and see it. If you knew that there was going to be Cup Series cars racing at, say the major short tracks we have in the state of Wisconsin here, most people would be willing to pay $60, $70, $80 to go see that if you knew it was only one time ever that it was going to happen.
How many seats are at the Field of Dreams game in baseball?
Yeah, I know.
No kidding. I think there's not even 20,000 there, is there?
And not even. And they had a successful game, what was it, a year ago already, right?
They got one this year with two of the worst teams. Yeah, really? Two of the worst teams in all of baseball are playing there this year, the Reds and the Cubs, and they'll still fill it up.
Hey, I got to thank Froggy from PMF. He came over and gave me some beautiful white stone to put around the house. So thanks, Froggy. Appreciate it.
He's quite a guy, isn't he? Hey, Ed, they ran a tire test at Martinsville this week. They tried different things. Martinsville didn't have a very good race. But the thing of the three cars that were there, Kyle Busch said that they ran out there with they removed the rear diffuser extensions, and he thought it made a big difference in those cars. I'm not sure why that is, but it sounds like we're onto something maybe, huh?
Yeah, because it's not as much downforce on the rear wheels, and it's easier to make the car turn, and more. And it's a better platform balance, air-wise.
That's what it is. Well, now that's not true at all tracks, though. Correct?
No.
Oh, so, all right, that's something to remember. All right, gentlemen, we're racing at Nashville. Let's see, our last picks were not good. Let's see, not a one of us had even close. Last year, it was a runaway with a different car by Kyle Larson. Who do you think we're looking at today? Let's start with Ed Kluka.
I'll take the 99.
2 in a row. Can you imagine? All right. Dan? I missed that.
Last to first, Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. All right. 18 car. Who are you looking at, Brian?
Chase Elliott in the 9.
All right. And I'm going to go way out on a limb and say it's the newly signed and very happy Martin Truex today. Time to show a little something and pick it up, my friend. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it on a weekly basis. Don't forget, we are downloadable on all major podcast formats, and so you'll find us wherever you look. And what we like people to remember is that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in every week, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Have you heard San Antonio Fruit Farm wines are dual fruit wines? That means each bottle of San Antonio Fruit Farm wine is infused with 2 real fruits. With flavors like strawberry guava, peach passion fruit, and blackberry orange, San Antonio Fruit Farm wines are sure to give your taste buds something to talk about. Ask your local retailer for San Antonio Fruit Farm wines. Fruit fusion you can taste, so please taste responsibly.